Hello everyone and welcome to the Transit Nomad family. This video is my public transport vehicles tour at European Mobility Weekend in Budapest, Hungary in 2025. Before we get started, I'd like to let you know that I'm in Budapest for a few weeks, and at the end of this trip, I'll be recording my final verdict video, comparing Budapest with other cities to help you decide if you should visit, while also saving you lots of time and money with practical tips on how to get the most out of your trip. This will be an exclusive video, but you can easily gain access to it by subscribing or donating any amount on buymeacoffee.com/transitnomad or through the link in the video description below. With that being said, let's begin checking out what's being displayed today. And my favorite thing that I would like to mention, the number one vehicle that stands out the most, is this older Guns tram. They have a sign with a description. We'll take a look at this sign and then we'll go inside and see what the interior looks like. But this is called a UV tram. Let me zoom it in a little bit. It was a defining vehicle on the streets of Budapest in the second half of the 20th century. This model was retired in 2007 after 51 years of service. The U in the name UV was the next letter in the type classification of motor cars at the time, while the V indicated that the vehicle was remotely controlled. UV trams were manufactured by the Gans factory between 1956 and 1965. A total of 375 were manufactured, making it the most widely produced tram in Budapest. Very interesting. Let's take a look inside and see what the interior looks like. It's a three-car tram. It has three cars, three coaches, which means it's very long and it can transport lots and lots of people. I really wish I could ride one of these trams. It's just so awesome the way it looks and the way it feels. It's kind of rough. I really like this kind of stuff. Very historic, very nostalgic, takes you back in time. And it's amazing how they could keep it in such a great shape all these years and it's still operational. They have nostalgic runs. If you look at their website, they have a calendar of special events for people who want to ride nostalgic trams and older heritage trams like this. Unfortunately, I was not able to find an event with this specific tram, but maybe another day I will. I'm staying here for a month, so hopefully there's still a chance to take a look and find something like that in the future. Budapest is known for a very diverse transit fleet and their ability to keep it in good shape over decades. This coach or this car is different. It has leather seats that are a bit more comfortable. Let's give it a try a little bit. Yeah, it feels a lot more comfortable than those wooden seats in the middle coach. I'm not sure if they were always running like this, or maybe they just created this kind of set showing different types of cars that were available at the time. But I would definitely prefer this one over that one, as it's certainly a lot more comfortable when it comes to seating. And where we are right now is actually the tram terminus, in other words the dead end, where it's not the dead end, it's basically one more stop that way to the dead end, but this is where line 47 and 49 terminate. If you just keep going one stop that way, it's very close to the very heart of the city. We are kind of in the city center. It's very close to all the shopping and entertainment and everything else that Budapest has to offer. I love this design. It's really, really nostalgic design. I wish they still have these trams running. Of course, I'm just saying this as a transit enthusiast. I understand that the maintenance costs and the operation costs of running these kind of trams is higher, but still, at least we get to enjoy it at an event like this. And this is the first car. It's kind of similar to the third car, and the car in between, in the middle, has the wooden seats. I guess the one in between, it doesn't have the ability to be independent. It doesn't have the area for the driver and the controls. So it's maybe designed on purpose to be like a little bit cheaper, a little bit more basic in comparison with the other cars that have the ability to be driven independently. Let's take a look just out of curiosity. This is the schedule. It's nice that they have these schedules available at tram stops. I'm gonna zoom it in a little bit, and you can see that the frequencies on these lines are basically all day every 7 minutes on line number 47, and all day every 7 minutes on line number 49. And both of these lines are very popular, and they share a large portion of the route. So if you are waiting at this stop, basically almost any time, no matter it's a weekend or a weekday, the most you're going to have to wait is 4 minutes, because each line runs every 7 minutes, and the schedule is designed in a way so that the times are basically equally divided or equally organized in a way that people don't have to wait for 3 or 4 minutes. And speaking of making public transportation efficient and convenient and attractive to potential riders, I think this is one of the things that can be done to make it better. If the trams are arriving every 3 or 4 minutes, this definitely makes it more attractive to people. If they are thinking, should I drive or should I take the tram? Well, if I don't have to wait for the tram, maybe it's faster. If I don't have to be stuck in traffic, pay for insurance, pay for parking, pay for maintenance costs, then taking the tram might be better. And this is what the event is about. It's promoting public transportation, it's promoting walking and cycling, and this is basically like a car-free weekend here in Budapest. Right now we just boarded an old school Icarus bus. It's not the popular 280 model that was serving many different cities across Eastern Europe and Central Europe, but this is kind of the older version that was popular back in the day, maybe in the 1960s or something like that. It's interesting how they have this floor lower in the back than in the middle of the bus. Very interesting design solution. Also very soft leather seats, very wide doors, so multiple people can easily get in and out at the same time. Let's take a look at the vehicle description and see what it says. So this model is Icarus 556, and this is not in English, so let's try to find one in English. By the way, huge gratitude to English signs, because they don't have to do that, but they did it so that visitors can understand what's going on. So 556 was the first solo bus model with self-supporting body produced by Icarus factory, a single version of the 180 model, which was designed specifically for urban use and had a capacity of 100 passengers. This model was the first to feature an engine built under the floor, which significantly reduced noise levels in the passenger compartment. Rebuilt by BKV on Icarus 260 chassis, the vehicle evokes the atmosphere of the 1960s and 1970s. Exactly as I thought. So this is the basically the previous version before they came up with the 260 and 280. This is what Icarus was manufacturing. It looks very different if you compare it with their later designs. Still kind of attractive and unique. You can see they have service announcements letting people know that because of this event, line 47 and 49 are not running. Now let's take a look at another interesting vehicle. This yellow bus. I went inside already, and what I really liked about it is the number of seats. It has so many seats, and I think that is another little thing that people, when they ride transit, they appreciate being able to sit, not stand, especially if it's more than a few minutes of riding. And if people are comfortable, if they can work on their computer or work on their laptop or take some rest, relax, and feeling relaxed without having to stand in an overcrowded vehicle, this definitely makes transit more attractive too. So this bus stands out with a lot of seats. I think it's currently being introduced as one of the newer bus models that are going to service some routes just outside of Budapest or inside Budapest, going just outside, servicing, you could say, suburban routes, maybe something like that. And it's definitely pretty comfortable. Not as comfortable as the old school leather seats, I have to be honest, but still very comfortable. And I don't know how many seats this bus has, but it looks like it's definitely between 40 and 50, maybe closer to 50, which is great. I don't see any signs explaining what this bus is, but at least we can admire the exterior, the interior. They have these different kind of transit vehicles spread out in the central part of Budapest. So they have this area, and they have a couple of other areas, including the area on the famous Green Bridge that is used right now to host a lot of different trams. I made a separate video featuring those trams. Feel free to look it up on my channel. Now we should probably take a look at the blue Mercedes that's being displayed. It's probably one of the least unique buses you can find. I'm not sure why they chose to display this specific bus, because you can see them everywhere in all cities and all countries in Europe. It's a very popular model. I guess because it's new, it feels like it's brand new, and maybe they are letting people know that they are purchasing these buses and they are going to be entering regular city service in the near future. What I do like is that it has 2 doors instead of 3 doors, which means more space for seats. This bus has 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19, over 30 seats, which is good. And if it had 3 doors, they would have to sacrifice at least 4 seats, I think. And they have this minibus. I actually did not see any of these minibuses servicing different city routes. I don't think they are in regular city service, or maybe they are if you call it, it's on demand, if you have some mobility issues or something like that. They also have some trolleybuses being displayed, but it's a little bit of a walk from here, and the only one that is worth checking out is the ZU trolleybus that was manufactured in the Soviet Union, but that one was already captured in another one of my videos, so I don't think it's worth walking over there. Other than that, it's just the Polish trolleybus called Solaris, which again you can see everywhere in all cities and all countries in Europe right now, because Poland manufacturer Solaris, they were able to come up with a strategy that allows them to manufacture lots of buses and trolleybuses at decent quality, at reasonable prices, very competitive prices, and a lot of people, a lot of countries and cities choose to buy them. It's kind of like Icarus used to be popular in the 1970s and 80s and 90s. Now Solaris is really popular across the entire Europe, So huge respect to them for being so competitive and offering good value to a lot of cities looking for new transit vehicles. But with that being said, I think we are going to conclude our tour. I would like to remind you that as an active traveler and business owner with experience, I might be able to assist you with trip planning, life coaching, and business consulting, with all the details available at buymeacoffee.com/transitnomad or through the link in the video description below. This is where you can also find lots of exclusive content on many different cities around the world, my secret tips, PDF guides, and the option to request a custom video on any topic that matters to you. Thank you everyone for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.